So, would you be kind enough to tell us who you are and what you do, please?
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'm Adam Purslow. I'm CEO of TheLoyaltyCo. We are a business that specialises in not just loyalty, but we specialise in mobile applications, mainly for sort of the loyalty sector. But we have a great white label solution that enables us to give businesses a optimised mobile app for Android and iOS, with elements of membership, with elements of loyalty, and other elements that can just be enabled and turned on for different clients in different sectors. So we're quite unique in what we offer, in that it can be offered to absolutely anybody.
And that's fantastic that it's cross sector.
Yes.
And I'm told that it's a very versatile system, so that if one client suggests something that will work for them, you can roll it out to everybody.
Correct. Yeah, so we go with a community feel. So the way that we'd like to operate is that we've got our core app, we've got the core functionality, but it's the same code base. So if somebody takes on some functionality that may work for their business, we'll take on the development free of charge, and we'll do that if we think it's something that we can offer to other people. And we'll also keep our other clients in the loop as to what is available. So a good example is one of our clients asked for a chat function that we've enabled for them. We're just in development with that at the moment. But when that's ready, we'll tell everybody else. So this is the feature, this is what you can have. And as part of your monthly cost, just let us know if you want it and we'll enable it for you. So everything will be sat there in the background ready for somebody to take on if they so wish.
So this sounds like it's not a carrot on a stick scenario where you buy the core and everything else is a package to add onto it. You buy
sorry, go on.
you buy it. You buy into the app, and these things will come in organically over time.
Correct. Yeah. So we work on a software as a service model. So there is an upfront cost and there's a monthly fee, which isn't massive. But the idea of that is that gives you the support and the hosting of the app, but also anything that we then integrate into the app, and any new features, new technologies, new updates, you'll automatically get. So the idea is, as a base customer, you won't pay any extra costs once you're in with your app. And also we'll do things like update to the latest iOS versions and Android versions, and do all the checking and the background work to make sure that it carries on working without you having to do any work yourselves.
That's a great product, because it makes it's easy for the clients, and it's thinking about the clients.
Correct. So, yeah. I mean, I've been in this industry a long time, and I've taken on products and I've looked at products, and there's always hidden extras. There's always a catch. And I was very keen with what we were going to offer that wouldn't be the case. So we've got a really good client base. People are really interested in what we're doing. And we know that people will come to us with new ideas because it may be something that we can facilitate. And if it works cross-sector, then it works well for everybody. So the idea of the chat function I mentioned earlier, that came through from a private members club, but we're now implementing that into a yacht charter company, a chalet rental business, and potentially a fitness app as well. So you can see one product and one bit of technology has worked across a lot of different sectors. And it may have been something that these people wouldn't have thought about had we not have mentioned it and shown it in our updates.
I love this, because the one word you've used there a couple of times, which I think is brilliant, is community. And it's supporting other people, everybody linking together. Brilliant.
Exactly. It's the support element, but it's also, we're working with businesses from, one of the businesses we work with has got 250 private members club worldwide. So they're obviously a large business. We're speaking at the moment and just about to launch an app for a small single restaurant. And they may not have the internal team to come up with the ideas and come up with what they want. So it's brilliant for them that we can say, this is what we have, this is what other people have asked us for, and we've now introduced into the app. Do you want it? And yes, we'll enable it for you as part of your monthly fee. And so we're helping businesses that may not have the biggest team come up with innovation and ideas as part of that community feel.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. But obviously the loyalty company at the moment is still a fairly young company. You started, I think it was in January, I read. Yes. So yeah. How challenging has that been for you, and how are you helping your clients and yourselves and your clients through this?
Yeah, well, as we are a startup, we're a very new company, but I'm quite fortunate in that I've been around the block. I've been in the hospitality industry for the last 18 years. I've been in technology for the last 12 years. So I know an awful lot of people and I've seen a lot of things. So it's not as if we're starting completely fresh. I've got an awful lot of contacts that we've been able to reach out to. I've got a lot of people that have been able to help us. So it's been very, very positive for us that we can, obviously we can help my peers in the hospitality industry, but also, we've got the contacts and people that we can speak to without having to do a lot of cold calls. So we were worried, obviously. I mean, we signed, I'm sat in our office in Manchester, so we've got an office in Dalton Place on John Dalton Street. So we signed this the end of February, or I was persuaded to sign a 6-month contract because it was slightly cheaper. And then obviously all this happened. So we've sat with an empty office for a good 3 months. So it was always going to be a risk, and there are costs involved. But we've got through it. We've managed to take on new clients. We've been doing a lot of pitches. The team have sort of been working every day on improving what we've got and speaking to other people and speaking to clients. So we've used the time wisely. But we've also been really impressed with the number of people that have approached us that actually want to do something on the other side. So, people aren't standing still. There's an awful lot of people on furlough. There's an awful lot of businesses that have closed down, but they are sat there thinking, how do we make ourselves better? How do we come out of this on the other side in a positive way? So we've probably been busier than I expected we would have been, which has obviously been massively positive for us. But we've also, given my background and my contacts and the people, my friends and peers, a lot of them are in the hospitality industry. So we've also been trying to do whatever we can to make sure that they can get through on the other side. So, payment breaks, pay us when you open, we're fronting quite a lot of the cost just to help businesses at the moment. As a startup, it's a very difficult thing to be able to do, especially when you're self-funding. But I think it's worth it. I'd much rather see friends, peers, colleagues come out of this with a business and a job at the other side of it, and we can talk numbers later. But it's been a lot more positive than I would have expected. And even though the office has sat empty for 3 months, we've definitely not stood still.
That's so positive and warming to hear that, especially for the difficulties of a startup and how you're doing everything you can to support the people who are already on board and the people that are coming to you. Yeah. It's wonderful. Obviously, your ear must be to the ground hearing a lot of what's going on as well, by the sound of it.
Yeah, I mean, the app is obviously agnostic to industry. So we're dealing with a lot of different industries, but it's the same common problem. Our core is obviously hospitality, and the people that we're speaking to on a day-to-day basis are in the hospitality industry. And it is extremely difficult. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of uncertainty from banks and people that are funding these businesses too. So it's almost a stalemate that people can't get money and people can't get funding, and they're also struggling to survive. So, people are having to adapt and change, and we've helped a couple of businesses with a delivery and collection solution that wasn't really ever going to be our bread and butter and wasn't going to be something that we would offer unless it was in app and it was for one of our customers that have an app. But these businesses have approached us and said, look, we really want to work with you. Can you do something short term? And, we've been able to offer these solutions in a week or two's turnaround, and they're now trading and open with delivery and collection. We also did something quite interesting. We did a crowdfunding solution for one of our other customers that signed up just before all of this hit and before coronavirus hit. And then obviously, they ran out of money, things changed, their investors were selling a property that then couldn't invest. So we created a crowdfunding site for them. It's a private members business, but they're now selling name a room and have an event and cook at home dinners just to build up some funds and keep some money in the bank for when they do reopen. But we're doing whatever we can, and we've diversified, even though we only just started really, just to try and see what we can do for these businesses to get them on board with our core product.
That is just lovely to hear, because as we know, sadly, the hospitality and the restaurant industries, they're going to be one of the last to reopen, and Lord, will we need it when it happens, because we're a social species. We like to go out and mingle, be it eating in the pub or just letting loose on the dance floor, and we will need this just for our mindfulness when we're allowed to again.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. Hospitality's been my life. I've been in it forever. and I want to see it to survive, and I'm very, very positive it will survive. Especially myself, I can't wait to go to the pub. I can't wait to go out. I can't wait to go for dinner. One of my colleagues actually lives over in Germany, and she's they're almost back to normal. So she's sat in a WeWork in Berlin at the moment, and able to go for lunch and able to be a bit normal. So it's a positive step. And it's, I saw something on the news as well. It was only a couple of days ago that bookings are back to normal levels over in Germany as well. So it's another positive thing for us. I think the first thing that people will want to do as soon as this is over, and as soon as the lockdown is fully lifted and they're able to go into a restaurant, is to go into restaurants. I think everybody is in the same boat, and hopefully the weather sticks out, because I know quite a lot of these businesses will have to adapt outside areas and change the way they operate, but it's all positive. And we're making sure that we're allowing businesses to keep people engaged. So the businesses that have come to us and that we're assisting at the moment just want to make sure that their customers don't tail off or go to somewhere else. So we're offering solutions like the app, with push notifications, with email capabilities, with database capabilities, to keep them informed and keep them abreast of what's happening. Because that's the key thing, and that's been the one thing that's been common across everybody that's approached us during the pandemic. They just don't want to lose customers. Nobody's in a position that they're able to lose these key customers.
Nobody does, and I think that's going to come across to we as the customers. We can't wait. Certainly what I've been hearing from my friends and different business people that I've been speaking to as customers, we're very much looking forward to getting back into the pub, getting back to the restaurant, getting whatever it might, or just to go to, for when shows open back up and things like that, which I know is going to be much further, but we've got to focus on those positives.
Yeah, I mean, it works the other way as well. I know a lot of people that work in restaurants, and waiting staff or managers or owners or whatever it may be. And a good example is up the road. So our nearest restaurant is Piccolino. I've had a good few lunches from Piccolino in the last few weeks, because they've opened for collection. But Ettore is their sort of front of house man, and he's the face of Piccolino in Manchester, and he can't wait to have people back in. It's the same thing. We've obviously missed restaurants, but people in hospitality have genuinely just missed being hospitable and having the customers in and having that interaction with them. So it works both ways. It's quite interesting to see it. He's been trying to engage with the guests as much as he can. He's been out in the queue waiting for people when they've been coming to do the deliveries and collection, chatting to them as if they're his friend. Well, they are his friends, but it's been nice to see.
That's wonderful too, because actually he obviously really likes what he does and loves just being quite gregarious and chatting away.
Of course. Yeah, and I think that's common. All of the people that I've known over the years, and I've seen certainly in management roles, they love their job. It's an industry that once you're in, it's very difficult to get out of. And even though I've sort of stepped to the side, I'm still heavily involved in the industry. And certainly my friends and colleagues and peers and people that I speak to on a day-to-day basis are still in the industry. So it's a massive part of my life.
So you're, as you've touched on there, where you are in John Dalton Street, obviously just off Deansgate there. Yeah. How has the closure system of Deansgate, how have you seen that working?
It's not surprised me. It's been on the cards for a long time, and obviously it's a good time to do it. I don't think it'll affect Manchester too much. Obviously, you can still get across Deansgate, you just can't go directly down it. It's interesting actually. One of my colleagues who gets an Uber for probably half a mile in the morning, lives the other side of Deansgate, is the most upset person about it. But everyone else has actually taken to it quite well. I don't really think it'll affect business. I think some of the places on Deansgate may struggle, but I think things are going to change now. For the next 12 months at least, we'll see social distancing stay in place. We'll see change in the way people arrive into Manchester and the way that people travel around Manchester. So I think now's a perfect time to do it. I don't see any problems with it.
And on a different note, I'm here for something completely different. You're a collector of gnomes, is this right?
Wonder who you spoke to. I do have a bit of a passion for gnomes, that's correct, yeah. Somebody bought me one about 5 years ago, and I didn't have a passion, and then I really liked them. And then I did some work with a company called Cisco Meraki a few years ago. and they basically had a gnome, and this is where it's all stemmed from. They had a gnome that was, there was 100 of them that existed in the world, and I managed to get hold of one of them. I was in San Francisco at their head office, and I was given this gnome, and since then it sparked my collection of gnomes. I know exactly who's told you this, and now there's 100 of each. I only found out probably about 2 years ago that there was actually 4 different gnomes within this set. So I now am proudly an owner of all 4 of the gnomes, hand painted, all from the US. So yeah, they've definitely travelled, but I've got some good ones, and this same person that probably gave you that nugget of information also buys me one every Christmas and birthday as well. So she's amazing.
Now that I don't know whether that's
okay.
I looked it up. Apparently, a collection of gnomes is called a shortage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm actually that's going down in my notebook. That's brilliant. I'm not. Whilst I do like them, I wouldn't say it's my life. I wouldn't say I'm overly. I've done a lot of research on them. I just like to have them around. I think my proudest possession is an Italian concrete gnome from a very sort of well-known design company over in Italy. It was probably one of my most expensive purchases as well, but it was this same person again that saw this on the internet, sent me the link, and I couldn't help buy it. So I'm also the proud owner of a very, very sought after gnome too.
Fantastic. I love it, talking about gnomes.
Absolutely.
Say again?
Absolutely. Why not?
Adam, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Right.
Good luck with the app. I love the fact that you could abbreviate it to TLC.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's plenty of reasons behind that.
All I can hear in my head now is no scrubs going around, but that's something completely different.
Exactly.
Have a wonderful day. Good luck, and I'll meet you for a pint very soon.
Great. Thanks, Aaron. Good to speak to you.
Take care.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Bye.